The key to success is not doing more, it's actually doing less. In today's world, a lot of people believe that in order for you to achieve more and get more in your life, you need to do way more. But taking on more and doing more, especially doing more for other people, it's only going to give you burnout, and it's also going to cloud your vision of what you truly want, because you're not going to be able to relax in the process of you becoming a better version of yourself, of you growing your business, of you growing riches, or whatever it is you want to get better at. In today's people, a lot of people have an either or mentality instead of an and mentality. And what is an either or mentality? It's the mentality that you can either have one thing or the other, not both at the same time. They think in order for them to get the life that they truly want, they think in order for them to be successful, they cannot have peace. You can either choose peace or success. This is absolutely the biggest lie in the whole entire universe. You can have both peace and success at the same time. First and foremost, if you think that you getting the results you truly want requires for you to be completely burned out all the time, then your body is naturally going to keep you from gravitating towards success. Because your body doesn't want to be stressed out. So it's going to be like, I don't want to do that. It's going to keep gravitating towards peace. And then you're never going to become successful because you've created this mantra in your head that you can only get success if you work so hard that your eyes fall out of your skull and that your brain is still running while your body is in paralysis. It is so incredibly important to understand that you can absolutely have both happiness, peace, and prosperity at the same time. But in order to facilitate these things, you have to start doing way less. And I'm not telling you have to sit back, relax on your couch and say, everyone else has to do it for me. You just have to have your priorities in order. And this one goes out to especially my neurodivergent girlies and friends out there, because a lot of neurodivergents especially believe that a life of success means a life of being burned out. They also tend to think that a life of taking responsibility for yourself means a lifetime of you not having the energy to do anything. I'm a neurodivergent myself, and it took me many years to realize that me telling myself that I shouldn't take responsibility because I was afraid of burnout was actually just keeping me from getting all the things that I really wanted. Because when you let go of responsibility over yourself, you're letting the world have control over you. And when you let the world have control over you, you're essentially saying that you're signing up for whatever the universe sends your way. You are not setting any boundaries. The people that are the easiest to control and manipulate are the people that are the most indecisive. And when you relieve yourself of any responsibility over yourself, you're saying that you don't care, whatever goes, and it doesn't matter. And when you're saying it doesn't matter, you're saying that you're indecisive, you don't know what you want, and that means you're not going to get what you truly want. And what does this have to do with doing less to get more? Well, in order to get everything that you truly want in life, you have to have a clear vision of the life you want. I personally have a manifestation journal, and I write down what matters to me, which could be something like quality time, being able to choose what I do with my time whenever I want to, being able to fuel my creativity whenever I want to, having assurance, prioritizing my health. It could be whatever it is you want. I also write down what purpose I think my life serves. This is a really good exercise to do because it makes it clear to you what direction it is you want to go. You should also write down why this is important to you, aka why the purposes you think life has are important to you. When you sit down and you dive into your own self, and it doesn't have to be extremely deep in the beginning, you are automatically taking responsibility over the life that you want. You're not doing anything crazy. You're not bungee jumping into things, but you're writing down what you truly want, which can be very daunting to a lot of people. Especially when you're neurodivergent, you are kind of afraid of writing down the things that you truly want because you don't want to disappoint yourself. That's why you let go of any responsibility over yourself and any control, because then you can't be disappointed because you didn't expect anything. But that's why you're constantly doing a lot of things that are not serving you. That's why you're constantly getting extremely burned out because you haven't zoned in on the purpose of yourself. And when you haven't zoned in on the purpose of yourself, you'll be doing more and more and more in order to find out what validates you And P.S., a lot of the things you're going to be doing to try to find your validation are going to be temporary bursts of validation that are going to leave you drained and seeking more validation. The art of doing less is to create certainty around who you are. And don't worry, you don't have to figure out who you are right now, today. Find out everything about yourself. Finding out about yourself is a long journey. It's a long and beautiful journey that will most likely just take you your whole life. And it's not about finding out all of that in one day by writing in a book. Doing less to get more is about zoning in on the things that truly matter to you so you can cut out the things that do not matter to you. And this part might be a little hard for some of you guys to hear. But in order for you to get more success, more peace, more prosperity, princess treatment, if that's what you truly want, you need to write down that you want these things. And then you also need to write down the things that are happening in your life right now that are going against that. Let me tell you a little story about myself. I used to think that in order for me to be a good enough human being, I needed to socialize. I needed to be around people to prove that I could be social and that I wasn't some loner. And in order for me to give myself that tiny bit of validation that I was telling myself that I needed, even though it was a big lie, I would go out to sing karaoke multiple times a week at this sleazy little karaoke bar. Mind you, I am not someone who consumes alcohol, so it never truly felt like myself being at this bar. What I really liked about going there was the fact that I got to sing, and I love singing. I grew up singing. I went to music school, and that part of me resonated entirely with me, which is what made it so hard for me to realize that this place was not good for me. Because on one hand, I was doing something that I really liked, which was singing, but the people at that karaoke place were really not good. But in my head, I thought, well, look at me. I'm out here singing and I'm socializing with these people. But it wasn't bringing me the peace that I really wanted. It wasn't bringing me the princess treatment that I really wanted. Even though I was actually tapping into something that I really enjoyed, and that's a crucial part of me, music. I was also tapping into my validation zone. And I had to realize that I needed to cut those people and I needed to cut that experience out of my life. Even though I loved going there to sing, I wasn't getting the peace that I deserved from the experience. And every time I came back from this place, I had to recover for like a day because my social battery was completely drained. Not because I was really interacting with people there that much, but because it was working against the life that I truly wanted. And my body knew that. Here are some of the things you can do less of to free more space and time for you to be able to focus on the things that really matter. 1, you have to cut out people from your life that are negative, that don't have a growth mindset, that complain all the time, and that have victim complexes. These people will forever set you back, and they will steal so much time that you could focus on yourself. 2, you have to embrace imperfection. It's not about getting things perfect, it's about getting things done. B's get degrees. Even if you're a B student all the way through university, you're gonna still get your degree. So it's not really about perfectionism. It's about not over obsessing, and it's also about not procrastinating because you want things to be perfect. You have to embrace imperfection to get quicker results because that makes you move more smoothly, more intuitively, and with more purpose because you see it as a learning lesson. You see it as a lesson and not an end-all be-all. That one goes out to all of my neurodivergents especially. If you're a girly who wants to get princess treatment, you have to get comfortable letting other people do things for you, which means you might have to play a little dumb. It doesn't mean you are dumb. It just means that you open yourself to letting people help you, for people to feel like they can actually make an impact in your life, and you're letting yourself receive and sit back instead of feeling like you constantly have to produce and prove yourself. Now people have to prove yourself to you. Another thing you have to cut out are things that are not serving you a purpose, but are just making your life harder. I used to be obsessed with having crazy outfits all the time. I would want 3 different outfits in one day. And today I have 90% less clothes. I literally donated 95% of my closet, and I wear the same outfit every single day. This frees up space and time for me to focus on what really matters to me. I can focus on making myself look better, maybe do my makeup more. I can sleep longer, and my outfits still look good. They're classy. But instead of having 40 different things in my closet to choose from every single day, I have a couple things. So it can be a really good idea for you to size down. When you have less, you're also more appreciative of the purpose that it serves. And this has nothing to do with not getting the things that you truly want, because you should be allowed to get that. But it's about simplifying your life so you don't have to do as much. For me, the wardrobe thing was really what made a difference. And now I can focus all of my time on reading, relaxing, spending quality time, and managing my time. This also goes for activities. If you're the type of person who's constantly out doing things, and there's nothing wrong with being someone who likes to do stuff, I like to do stuff, but you're out doing things that don't serve you, that don't serve the vision of who you want to be, then that's going to set you back immensely, and it's going to keep you from facing the things that you actually need to face in order for you to get the life that you want. And in reality, it's actually going to make you face these things with so many more things on your plate. So you're going to be overwhelmed when you have to face and do the things you really need to do, because you're taking too many things on your plate at once. And you know what happens when you take on too many things at once, especially when they're things you're doing out of your own free will? You're going to find something else to try to blame for you not having enough time. Oh, I really wish I could have more time for realizing my true purpose, but I just have so many other things I need to do. If that thing truly mattered enough to you, you would make time for it. It's kind of like when a guy really wants to go on a date with a girl, and then she suddenly says, you know what, I have some time on Friday night. If this guy truly wanted to go out with this girl, he would wipe his schedule in order to be able to accommodate her. The same thing goes for your dream life. You need to wipe things for your schedule in order to be able to accommodate your dream life. It's actually a pretty good idea to think about your dream life as this beautiful woman who deserves the world. Because when you personify the life that you truly want, and you can even personify yourself, think about the person that you want to be, think about how you want to be able to accommodate your inner child, the child that truly deserves that life, then you're also able to understand all of the sacrifices you need to make in order to accommodate that. And that doesn't mean burning you out more. It doesn't mean taking on more. It means removing things that are making your vision and your path clouded. This one's kind of a no-brainer, but if you're constantly going out clubbing every weekend, but you truly want to build some big business, then the clubbing is something you could remove from your life to create more peace and more space for you to work on that business. But for a lot of people, what they're actually afraid of is having that time available to them, because then when they're not using that time, they're faced with the reality that it's actually their responsibility to make their life better. This is why a lot of people tend to fill their schedules with a lot of nothing, or fill their lives with a lot of material goods, consumeristic habits, a lot of no-nonsense validation from clothing, consuming TV, videos, social media, going out with people that they actually don't like, spending time around narcissistic people, because it's a way of procrastinating, working on what you really need to work on. Because when you feel like you have a lot to do, then it's easier to justify in your head not taking the responsibility you need for creating your own dream life. Because you're going to be like, oh, I don't have time for that. I have so much to do. Basically, you're treating your dream life as the side chick, not the main chick. You're treating your dream life as someone who doesn't deserve that much effort. You expect her to stay around because you kind of want her, but your comfortability, your procrastination, your ego is your main chick, but you don't really truly appreciate her. So eventually she's going to tell you she's leaving, or you're going to become bored of her, and then everything goes into shambles because your priorities weren't right. And if you had focused all of your energy on making your dream life the priority, making your dream life the main chick, not the side chick, then you wouldn't wake up one day and both your main chick and your side chick are gone. Basically, that's the universe's way of throwing it in your face so that you become so uncomfortable that you actually have to make a change. And in order to get changes that are comfortable, relatively comfortable, you have to face them a little by little. And in order to actually make comfortable shifts in your life, you need to be a little uncomfortable. But there's a big difference between being a little uncomfortable and then being extremely excruciatingly uncomfortable because you decided to just wait it out and broke. To get the life you truly want, you have to do way less. You have to be confronted by the fact that you have the time, you have the willpower to choose the life that you truly want. You just need to take out the things that are clouding it. One thing that a lot of people do today is that they cloud the life that they truly want with consuming social media content. And social media is great. You can find so much great content out on social media that can help you become the best version of yourself. But there's also a lot of BS on the internet. The internet is a great tool to get the life that you truly want, but you have to use it as a tool. When the internet came out, it seemed to be this big invention that could truly change the world, and it has. But you know, one of the first things that I remember about the internet when I was a kid was watching cat videos on YouTube. And as much as cat videos are absolutely enjoyable, they're a time waster that's not going to take you closer to the life that you truly want to live. And today we have much more content than we've ever had before. It is so much easier to consume things that are taking you further away from your purpose, which is why it's also so important what content it is we consume on the internet. I absolutely think we should use the internet to better our lives. But one thing that I think is really important is that we stop using it as the tool for validation that we use it for. This is why one of the things you can do to do less to get more is to get rid of your old social medias. And I'm not saying you have to go delete them right now, but one thing that's very important to do when you want to step into a better life and create your dream life is that you need to emotionally detach from the life that you used to have. And if you're constantly looking at pictures from who you were, and if you're constantly keeping up with old friends or people you've met throughout your life, aka the ghosts of your past, there are always going to be some resentful emotions there. You're actually going to be spying on them instead of focusing on your own life, and that's going to keep you from becoming your best version of yourself. When I decided to make this channel and make the Instagram that I have that is linked to this channel, I understood that I needed to get rid of my other social medias. I needed to stop using them, and it felt extremely daunting because I'd had them for so many years and I had all of my old friends there. But then after having let it go for about a month and I logged back onto my old account, I could feel this big energy shift because it was so clear that all the old energy I had, resentment towards people that I don't talk to anymore, wanting to lurk into other people's lives, wanting to show people that I got something going on for myself. Those emotions were so much more present when I was on my old account, but on my new account, it was focused on me trying to better myself and trying to help people out. The energy was so much different. My For You page was so much different, and I had just distanced myself so much from that person that I used to be. Your memories and who you are as a person shouldn't be tied up into social media. If you have memories and pictures on there, an easy way for you to do less to get more is to make sure that the pictures that you have, you print them out, you put them in photo albums so you can truly appreciate the experiences you've had. You print them out for yourself. You're not posting on social media to prove something. And that means your mind is going to be doing way less. And your mind is going to have the time and the space and the peace to be able to focus on what it actually needs to focus on. It is such a big thing that is clouding your mind. And if you're truly craving that social media scrolling experience, make a new social media that focuses on all the things that you want to do. Follow people with the lives you want to live. Don't compare yourself to them because they're obviously at a different level in their own lives than you are. But find inspiration. Doing less to get more has nothing to do with sitting back and relaxing and just saying, whatever's going to come is going to come. It has something to do with making clear choices about what you're not going to do in your life because it's not taking you towards where you want to go. It's basically setting boundaries for what you accept in your life or not. Think about if you're a girl and you want to achieve a princess treatment, soft life. If your goal is to be a stay-at-home mom who has her own little business, but her husband takes care of everything else, there's going to be a lot of men that are not going to be eligible for you to date. But there's also going to be a lot of self-work that you need to do in order to be that woman that man who wants that type of wife wants. You need to work on becoming her. And if you're out clubbing every week, and if you're going on 10 coffee dates every week, and everything you're doing is telling them what you don't want, then you're not getting any closer to who you actually want to be and what you actually want to achieve. And that cycle of just telling people what you don't want, that's not going to get you closer to what you actually want. Talking about all the things you don't want is actually taking on more things because the brain doesn't recognize the word don't. So when you say, I don't want a man who's selfish, your brain doesn't recognize don't. I don't want a man who's narcissistic. I don't want a man who's this. I don't want a life where I'm tired. If I told you right now to not think about a waterfall, you're going to be thinking about a waterfall. That's how the brain works. So in order for you to get the life that you want, you have to start thinking about what you want and not what you don't want. Do less of what you don't want. Even if that means that you have to go on way less dates, it's better than you doing a lot of nothing because again, it's going to make you feel that you can only be successful and get what you want if you're stressed out and working hard. Anyways, that was a video about why you need to do less to get more. And there's definitely much more to talk about. But I truly think it's one of the concepts that we need to step into the most in order for us to achieve the lives that we truly want. And that's the thing I'm interested in talking about here on my channel. And if you truly like today's video, make sure you leave a comment and make sure that you suggest anything you'd like for me to talk about, and go follow me on my other socials. And I love you guys so much. I'm so thankful for having you, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye.